Welcome to the garage. Today we are again troubleshooting noises coming from the front of the engine. We're getting out the parts cannon and we are going to blast it away at the water pump. I have replaced the power steering pump, the tensioner, the idler pulley, the alternator. The only thing I haven't done is water pump and air conditioning compressor, but I'm pretty sure it's actually the water pump. I was hoping it wouldn't be, but I think it is. So let's go after it. Now, what noises I'm talking about, I'll give you a short clip here of what it sounds like from the inside and from the outside, and at the end, if I've fixed it, I'll give you a before and after. First thing we're going to do is take off the air intake. You don't have to do it, I guess, but it's super easy to do, gives you a lot better access. You've got one electrical connector you need to disconnect. The band clamp on the throttle body, loosen that up. You can pull the hose off, 3 or 4 clips on the air box, and then you can just take the top right off. Before we take the serpentine belt off, we're going to loosen the 3 bolts on the pulley using a 13mm socket. If the pulley still turns with the belt on it, then use a screwdriver or something through one of the small holes in the pulley. Hold it up against the structure on the back of the engine. That'll keep the pulley from turning. Then you can get those 3 bolts loose. Before you take the serpentine belt off, take a picture of how it's laid out or draw a drawing of how it's laid out. That'll help you when you go to put it back on after you've got the water pump replaced. With the pulley bolts loose, we'll use the 3/8" drive ratchet with an extension if you need it on the belt tensioner. We'll turn that clockwise. That'll loosen the tension on the steering or the serpentine belt. You can go ahead and pull that off. Then pull the 3 bolts out of the pulley, and you can pull the pulley off of the water pump. You might need to use a couple of taps on a mallet to break it loose, but it should come off pretty easily. Before you start taking the water pump off, you need to drain the coolant. You can do it a couple different ways. You can actually drain it from the radiator. You can remove the lower radiator hose, or you can not drain it and just remove the water pump and have something underneath to catch all the fluid that's going to come out from the engine. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it off the engine. It's probably not the smartest way to go, but that's how I'm feeling the vibe today. So I've got a catch pan underneath. It's the best one I got. It may not be wide enough than cardboard, but I'm also in the garage, so kind of anticipate I'm going to have a mess. So you might want to not do it this way, but anyway, let's go ahead and see about getting that water pump off. For removing the water pump, it's 7 bolts. You need a 10mm socket. You may or may not want an extension. I'm using hand tools all the way. Certainly hand tools to break the torque, if nothing else. You do not want to break bolts, removing the bolts or reinstalling them. That's a theme throughout the day and make life a whole lot worse. I'm going to pull the bottom bolts all the way out. I'll leave the top 2 bolts partially in, kind of like the transmission fluid cover. Maybe it'll help control how much coolant comes out at once and where it goes, so I can capture most of it. You obviously want to capture it, not only to avoid the mess, but I think it might even be illegal not to recycle it, but you definitely want to capture it and recycle it. So first we'll take a look at the coolant that I collected. It's right at about 2 quarts of coolant that came out. Now I did not take the radiator cap off, so if the radiator volume is probably, most of it's still in there because it's probably vacuum locked with the cap still on there. So I would recommend doing that. It took about 2 quarts coming out of there. Take a look at the front of the engine. You can see that whoever replaced this last did use some RTV. And the paper gasket is, it's like some of it is still attached. Definitely a cleanup job that has to happen here. Oh, and the guy that did this last time was me, before I even had the channel. So it's all my fault for giving me this mess. And you can see there's some dried coolant there. That's from a separate issue that I had with water or coolant coming from this hose. So there's no coolant leaking from the water pump, but it was making those noises. So now let's go ahead and clean it up. Before we go install the new water pump, we want to make sure the mating surface on the engine is really clean. use a plastic scraping edge if you've got one, a razor blade if you need to. Just be really careful not to put any scratches into the front of the engine. Make sure it's good and clean, no leftover gasket parts or RTV or anything like that. I also recommend putting some paper towel or some towels or something inside the engine cavity. That way if you get any debris inside there, it is not going to get into your coolant system. There are no filters in the coolant system. I just want to show you the water pump, the old and the new one. So this is the old one, right? And the previous gasket is RTV'd onto the water pump itself, actually. So most of it came off, but when you pull it off, you can see there's some metal exposed. So obviously the rest of the gasket had to have been on the engine. So I made sure to go and find that, scrape all of that off. And then, of course, the new one is beautiful, but they're the same size, same number of bolt holes, same plastic impeller. When I turn this one, the new one, it is nice and smooth, no noticeable vibrations or anything. When I turn the old one, you can actually feel the bearings catching a little bit. So I'm thinking this actually is the source of my problem. The new pump came with its own gasket. I also ordered and bought the Felpro water pump gasket. I think I'm going to go with the Felpro gasket. Just have better luck with Felpro gaskets in general. But if this one turns out to leak, I do have a backup one, and it's about 2 quarts of coolant that gets lost when you pull the water pump off. So it's not that bad, but hoping for no leaks the first time I install it. Now looking at the gaskets for a second, so I am going to install that Felpro gasket, so I opened it, and the bottom of the Felpro gasket is against the cardboard, so you can't actually see the bottom when it's in the package. So I took it out, flip it over, and on the back of it, you probably can't see it, it says Interface MP15 made in USA. And on the back of this one that came with the pump itself, Interface Performance MP15 made in China. So is it the same gasket, same manufacturer? Same specifications? I don't know. Found that really interesting, so I thought I'd point it out. Still going to go install that Felpro gasket. Now I'm going to take a look at the 7 bolts that hold the water pump in place. I'm going to use an M6 by 1.0 die to chase the threads on these bolts. I'm also looking at the tips of the bolts since when I replaced the water pump last time, I did use RTV to help hold the gasket in place. I want to make sure that there's no RTV on the tips of those bolts, and if there are, just clean that off as well. And in case you're wondering if you really need to do that, well, this is all the junk that came out of the threads of those 7 bolts. So I would recommend chasing the threads on those bolts before you put them back in. We're going to do the same thing on the engine block side. I've got a M6 by 1.0 tap. I'm going to run that in slowly to clean out the threads on each of those bolt holes. Chasing those threads might be the scariest part of this whole job, just because if you snap that tap, your day is going to go south pretty quickly. But now that that's done, I'll use my air compressor to blow all the chips out of those holes, and then we'll talk about installing the new water pump. Now, Felpro gaskets are supposed to be installed dry, so not using any RTV or anything. It can only go on one way. It's got a little blue silicone bead of gasket material around it that actually goes up against the pump housing. So you just put that up against the pump, and then we'll go run a couple of bolts through to hold everything in place, put it up against the engine, and you should be able to use your hands to run all 7 bolts in and get them started. So when you first install the bolts, just all 7 of them go in until they're snug. I went every other one just to try to distribute it. Then you want to do a star pattern as you tighten it. So first just get each of them basically tight, but you're going to torque them to 105 inch-pounds. So it's not a whole lot of torque to hold those in there, so don't over tighten them when you're just running them in. Kind of just get them a little bit snug with the wrench, then go back 105 inch-pounds in a star pattern. So in theory, the system should now be watertight. And before going and putting anything else on, I'm going to go ahead and refill the system for as much as I can get into it and see if we have coolant coming out from the water pump. Because if it's leaking now, better to find out before you go put everything back on. Well, surprisingly for me, there are no leaks, so that's great news. I can put the plunger in the funnel here, pull the funnel off, recover what's left of that fluid, and then go ahead and put the system back together. It's going to be 20 foot-pounds or 240 inch-pounds on the 3 bolts for the pulley for the water pump, and you're going to need to hold it in place with a screwdriver. Probably even if you go ahead and put the belt on first, you're going to have to hold that in place to get those things torqued. But put the whole vehicle back together, and then we'll go ahead and purge the system and get it all set and up and running. And in the video description, I'm going to leave information for the parts and the torques so you can buy what you need, and you can find the torques pretty easily. And as far as coolant goes, I'm using Zerex G05. It's a HOAT type coolant. You have to be really careful that you get the right coolant for your make and model of Wrangler. And I think all of the 3.8 liter JKs are the HOAT coolant, but don't take my word for it. Look it up and make sure you get the right coolant. I really like the Zerex. It's a good price and it's always worked for me. So if you're looking for that HOAT coolant, link for that also in the video description. With the pulley bolts torqued down, next we'll reinstall the serpentine belt using our handy dandy map or photo that we took, and then reinstall the air intake. All right, we've got the coolant funnel back in place with coolant in it. Everything is put back together, so now we're going to start it up and see, will it start? Is the belt on correctly? Is the water pump going to come flying off? All right, we have got multiple levels of success here. First of all, no leaks from the water pump. The new water pump is apparently working. And then the noise is not present anymore. So the issue I was trying to find in the last several videos, it was actually the water pump. And so we're good there. Only thing left now is to finish burping the system. And you can see every once in a while bubbles coming up from the cooling funnel there. I need to wait for this to get up to temperature. Keep coolant in the funnel, so if it draws some down, once it gets up to temperature, it'll open the thermostat, it'll pull more coolant out of the radiator, so we just need to make sure that all happens. Once that is done, then you can put the radiator cap back on and check your coolant tank, make sure that it's got coolant in it up to the max fill line, and that's about it. I'm going to go end this video here, and if you need more information about how to burp your system, or if you have any questions at all about anything that I did today, drop them in the comments section. I will try to answer your questions as best and as quick as I can. Lots of information in the video description, and I will leave you with before and after on engine noise from this thing, and you can see how it's changed.